To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las
This here's
puertas.
a wild ride in the woods.
When indiscreet doors change.
So today on Miles from Main Street, I'm here with my beautiful wife, Tammy.
Hello.
I have to say that every time she comes on, or she will not do it with me anymore. So thought
Yeah.
I'd.
Or you'll sleep on the couch.
Oof! Ouch. We are here to talk about great experiences you can have with your kids while at Disney World. We have had some pretty great ones when we have been down there with our kids, and we thought maybe we could expand on a few ideas and give you guys some ideas on what you could do while you're there. So before we get started, please, if you're really enjoying the podcast, it'd be great if you'd go out and share it with somebody. Let them know that you're enjoying it. Let them know they should come and listen as well. It'd be great to have them. So, what kinds of things do you like to do with the kids that maybe people don't know about?
So many things. I don't know if people necessarily know about this. Probably a lot of you do. But you can get buttons for like anything there. And we always make sure we do that. We've done it for birthdays, first visits, good grades, I think we've done before.
Yeah, like the cast members, like, I think we got some birthday buttons for the son and maybe one of the daughters at one time. And they're like, well, what can we celebrate for you? And we're like, good grades.
Yeah. Like, they don't care what it says on it. Like, I've seen, like, celebrating because I'm here, like just anything you can put on it. But depending on the cast member, a lot of times they'll get some special treatment because they'll see that button. And our kids, for the most part, really liked that. We had one that sometimes didn't like all the attention that was given to her when she had the button on, but our son ate it up, of course. So.
Of course, yeah. When there was still Streetmosphere characters in Hollywood studios, they even were doing their thing, and they kind of singled him out during their show in the middle of the street and said some birthday stuff to him as well. So you never know when something might pop up. You know, I remember walking through a Fast Pass line, and they would say, "Oh, and happy birthday" along the way. So,
and also, if you are celebrating a birthday. And just so you know, you don't have to be celebrating a birthday like right when you're there. Like, they don't really care.
No.
So, like, we've done it just where we've been going close to one of their birthdays and gotten them a birthday button. And most of the time, if you go to sit-down restaurants, you will end up getting, they'll end up getting a cupcake for their birthday a lot of times. And sometimes even a card signed by the characters.
Yeah, it's always good to let the restaurant know ahead of time that that's going on. Or even when you check in, just mention, hey, we got a birthday. And you never know what could pop up, and it may not happen. It doesn't always happen, so don't expect it, but love it when it does, because it's always great. Another thing that we've done is you got to be front of line at the Disney Junior Dance Party at Hollywood Studios. How did that go?
Yeah, I think you guys had went off. You and Jacob had went off to do something. The Indiana Jones show, I think, with
we
my
went off
mom.
to do the show.
Yeah, and the girls didn't want to do that, so I took them over there, and I think we were maybe like 10 minutes before it started. So we were the first ones in line. Like, there wasn't anybody over there, so we just lucked out, I guess, as far as that went. And a cast member came up to us, and they were like, how would you guys like to say Miska Muska Mickey Mouse and open up the clubhouse for everyone when this starts? And the girls were like, yeah. And they gave us a really cool certificate that said, like, we were the family that was chosen to open it up. And it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. If you guys are following Miles from Main Street on Instagram, one of the reels that I put out recently is of the girl. It starts with the girls saying that And so you can see that little bit of video when they open it. I think it's a pretty cool video. Me knowing my kids, I can read their faces, and I could just see like some of the anticipation and excitement that was going into that. So that was really cool. I wish I could have been there for it, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Mia was only 3, so like she didn't exactly know what was going on. I don't think Paige had to help her a lot, but like she was still super excited to be doing it, whatever it was.
Yeah, she was excited to do it with her sister too. And looking at that video, I could see her face like being so excited. And then she would look at Mia, and like those interactions, I think, are just priceless. So
yeah. So I guess my tip for that, which like it just happened randomly to us, but if you happen to be walking past something and there's like no line for like a show kind of experience like that, jump in there first, and you never know what might happen. I don't know if any of the other shows do anything special like that or not. We've never had that experience.
Yeah, I don't know either if things like that would happen, but definitely check something out like that. So another item that can be done in many different ways is meeting their favorite character, and not just any character, but their favorite character. I have pictures of my daughters specifically walking up to the princesses, and the look on their face, like they've bought in, they're meeting their favorite princess. They know like this is what they've been waiting for, right? And the looks on their faces, I will never forget them. And it's something that you definitely need to do with your kids when you're there.
Yeah, for sure. I know, so Jacob's favorite character at the time when he was younger, and kind of still, is Donald Duck. And you can meet Donald Duck in a lot of different places in the parks, but we ended up back by like the Casey Jr. Big Top Circus area, where I don't think they're meeting back there anymore, but at that time it was Donald Duck, Goofy, I can't remember for sure, but
Daisy
was it Daisy? Okay.
And someone else, Minnie, I think, was back there.
Yeah, so they have like kind of circus themed backgrounds behind them, and like they have like, I think Donald was with a snake, if I remember right. And like that is what he wanted to do. He had to meet Donald with that snake. Like no other Donald
yeah, he did.
was going to do. He had to have that one. So that is the one I remember for him. And I'm sure you've probably told the story about Mia on the show with Rapunzel and the lanterns before.
Oh, boy. I don't know. It's been a while if I have. And that, what happened is that we went to see Rapunzel, and I believe this was a birthday time, right? Like she had a birthday button on, right?
I think so, yes.
And so they were talking about birthdays, and Rapunzel told her that there is a special ceremony in her kingdom that they raise lanterns on their birthday. So if you see the lanterns go up, to know it's there for you. She then asked her for what color would she like, and she said blue. So we went to see Happily Ever After that evening, and I was holding on to Mia at that point, and it got to the moment in the show where the lanterns all rise up the castle, and she's going, "Those are for me." And I mean, that just brings a tear to your eye, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, how cool is that she thought those were especially for her? And like even now, she'll be like, "Remember that time that those lanterns went up just for me and my birthday?"
Yeah, and so I think it's been 3.5 years since then. So she would have been about between 5 and 6. So, I mean, just awesome things that you can get from that. Another thing with the characters is, if you want to be the cool parent, get out onto like any kind of website that talks about meeting the characters. You and I did this when we went on our own trip, right? And while we were standing in line waiting to meet some of the characters, we would go out and we would start looking up like things that you could talk to them about. And the one that I remember is Pocahontas. We were in line and saw that you should say mahalo? No. Wengapo. You should say Wengapo, which is a greeting. But then the other one was ask about her necklace.
Yes.
And the entire interaction was about the necklace, and it kind of freed up the whole thing, right? It was that icebreaker you needed.
Yep, she started talking about how like Miko had collected the gems for her and helped make it, and it was like this whole big story.
Yeah, it was really cool to be able to do that. I think if you've got an idea of something to talk about, and Molly on Mammoth Club on YouTube, she's amazing at this. She knows exactly what to say, how to talk to these characters, and her tip has always been just talk to them like they're another adult. And I mean, I've met celebrities, I've met other people, and it's just kind of weird, you know, like I'll go to a comic convention and go to meet an artist and I still don't know what to talk to him about. But meeting a character, at least you can go online and you can find something.
Yeah, just asking them anything kind of from their movie or their storyline usually works. The other one I always think of when I think of like interactions is Tiana. Like, just ask her something about cooking, and like she'll start talking about her making her gumbo at a restaurant, and usually she has a whole big story about it. So,
yeah, so it's definitely, you know, think about their storyline, think about the movie they were in. And I'm sure you can come up with something to ask them. It's just a great thing to talk about. So other items we have.
Our children have always loved our pool days. Doesn't matter what resort we're staying at. All of them have games going on at some point during the day. And it can be anything. Like they've had duck races down the water slide. Jacob and Paige competed in a Disney trivia game where they actually ended up against each other in the final round. And that caused some tension, but Jacob, of course, won because he wins everything. But they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, using the pool, I don't know how many people have told me, yeah, we spend all this money to go to the parks, and the kids just keep asking to go back to the pool. And it's like, well, yeah, they do, but I don't think the kids fully understand what's going to happen next, right? Like, they know, like, oh, we just went on these rides. That was fun. But can we go back to the pool now? I want to go swimming. Like, but if you tell them, no, we're going to go, I don't know, meet so-and-so or get on this ride, they're going to, you know, be like, okay, we'll do that. But when you do get timed at the pool, and you definitely want to schedule those times, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be games going on. I think they start around 10 o'clock and go until maybe 5 even.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Some other things I think that our kids have done is like bingo. I think they did limbo one time.
I don't remember. I remember the last time we walked over to the Polynesian, though. And we weren't in the pool area, but they had a dance party going on, kind of where they would set up their movies. So it's near the Pineapple Lanai. They have a fake grass area, and Mia just jumped all over that. She was all over it. She couldn't wait. So, you know, it might not just be pool party things that you can do, but there's also different activities that they'll have going on.
Yeah, we've never done the outdoor movie. They do like a movie on a big blow-up screen. We've never taken the time to do that, but if you were looking for like a relaxing night around your resort, I'm sure that would be cool to sit outside and do.
Well, and I mean, we did have some of those evenings available on the last trip, but we were sitting around the pool the whole time because that's just where she wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that is fun outside of the pool is doing a dessert crawl. You can do this on the monorail. You know, a lot of people might do this as drink around the monorail or drink around the world. Now that we have the Skyliner, you can do something like this. With the kids, we prefer to do it as a dessert crawl. And I've told you guys on this show before that we're kind of cursed when it comes to doing crawls. We have to figure out a better way to do it because our timing, I think, is just off.
Yeah, I think part of it is we keep trying to do it after we've had a dinner somewhere and like nobody's hungry for one, and everybody's tired from everything we've done during the day. So I think maybe we need to try to do it like mid-afternoon or something.
Yeah, that might be a good time when we're not eating. So back to the resort, though. We can do some great things around the resort. What did you have there?
So I just think of like when we stayed at Pop Century and Art of Animation, we just took walks kind of on some of our off days, and like just to see everything, all the statues and all the theming and everything that's in the different areas around the resorts is really cool, because like we stayed at the Finding Nemo area at Art of Animation, but we took a walk over by like the Lion King area,
Little Mermaid. Paige had to get over to, well, both, right? Yeah. There's a Lion King section, and then further out is the Little Mermaid, so we had to get to that.
And Pop Century, they have, I don't know, is it the Mighty Ducks, or is that I get them confused? I don't know, but they have a bunch of different statues you can go look at, and we took pictures by them, and the kids just like enjoyed seeing everything.
And you've got those larger than life type things over at the All-Star Resorts, so that's where you'll find the Mighty Ducks. So definitely walk around, check those things out. You know, All-Star Sports has a giant soccer field or foosball field, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's really cool things to see just around the resort. If you go to the website and look at my profile picture, I have a selfie taken with Donald Duck. That's actually from the All-Star when we were staying at the Movies Resort, right?
Yep.
So, you know, you can find great things to take pictures with all over the place. And it allows the kids to see more of the resort, and you're not just kind of sitting around. If you don't want to be sitting around, you can have them up moving around, burning off some of that energy before you go to relax at a meal or at the pool, whatever it might be.
Yep.
All right, so we got a big one for the last one. There's lots of different items here. We found that kids love make your own, right? So what kind of make your own things can we do at Disney World? I mean, when you're in the parks, there's not going to be a whole lot of that because you're busy getting on rides and eating the snacks and meeting the characters. But, you know, when you get outside of the parks, there's a lot to do with that. And the first one would be Goofy's Candy Company over in Disney Springs. This is a place that we have traditionally gone to the last day, and that allows us to buy snacks to take home. And part of that trip is that we will allow them to make their own Rice Krispie treat or maybe a caramel apple. I think those are the two items that they make there, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if you can make your own caramel apple. I don't know. I feel like they've always done the Rice Krispie treats. But
yeah, I'm not sure if I feel like the first time we went there it was caramel apples, but maybe they don't do that anymore.
So yeah, you go in and they give you you go to there's you'll see a sign for the make your own at the counter, and they'll give you a slip of paper, and you get to start off with your Mickey shaped Rice Krispie bar on a stick, and then you have all kinds of choices that you can check for what you want it rolled in or melted onto it.
And I'll tell you what, the Rice Krispie treats, I'll tell you not to buy the prepackaged ones when you're there, but they will have some that are packaged up that you can tell like they wrapped them themselves. They're not sealed. Those are good. The ones that are sealed you don't want. These candies at Goofy's are the best, though. And I don't know why. The Rice Krispies just are fresher, and the chocolate is, freshly put on there and everything. So they're just a little more delicious to me.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know like what makes it so different than just buying like a package of gummy worms at whatever store, but like our kids love the gummy worms. Trying to think.
The gummy faces.
Gummy faces, yeah.
Like they're Mickey and Minnie and Goofy, I think that.
And then if you have kids that are fans of goldfish, which this is something that I would recommend just picking up wherever you see it and keeping it in your bag for when you're in the park, because it's a great snack. They have Chippendale heads that are cheddar flavored like goldfish.
Well, they're Mickey heads, but it's Chippendale
sorry.
Snack Company,
yes,
I think is what they
that's
call
where
it.
I was getting confused. But they've kind of got a little bit of the sharper cheddar taste than a actual goldfish cracker does, but our kids just love those.
Yeah, well, and you do too,
I do
right?
too, yeah.
We've been known to buy up a bunch of them to bring home, so... but yeah, definitely keep them in your pocket. I've been known to buy bags of snack mix when we first get there just to carry around with us.
Yep. They make like a treat bag that you can buy from there too. It has like a little handle on it and it ziplocks and it's got the gummy faces, the crackers, I think they're crackers, and pretzel, Mickey shaped pretzels in it.
Yeah, and the pretzels are
okay.
But, yeah. So back to the resorts though, like, we were talking outside of the parks. Back in the resorts, there's a lot of activities you can do there. And one of the main ones that is pretty popular is tie-dyeing shirts. They have a white shirt that they sell you, I want to say $15, $20, somewhere in that range.
I think so, yeah.
And then they will work with the child, whatever it is, to tie-dye your shirt. And usually a Mickey shape will end up on the shirt. And it's a one-of-a-kind item that you get to take home. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that have reviewed this if you want to go see it done. But it's a great item that you get to take home with you.
As far as Disney goes, it's a relatively cheap souvenir.
Yeah, and it's a cheap souvenir that you get to spend some time doing, so it's a good activity.
Right.
And also within these resorts, specifically over at Polynesian, you can make a kukui nut necklace, which I think is like super cool. And I think they only do this for like an hour in the afternoon, so you got to be there at the right time. But like these are like almost like they're like the bigger, I want to say like they kind of look like coconuts, not big like a coconut, but like they're nuts that you make a necklace out of, like you would a lei.
Yeah, almost like a walnut size.
Yeah, and they're, it's just so cool, and you get to make them yourself. You can design it however you want. So you parents out there, if you have kids, like how kids love to do crafts. So this is definitely one thing you'll want to do.
Another thing our kids like to do at the Polynesian is mail a coconut. So you can buy a coconut in their gift shop and you can mail it to grandma or whoever you want to mail it to. I want to say they're $20. I can't remember for sure.
20 to 25. It depends on where you're sending it.
Right. But then when you get home, it's a souvenir pretty cool souvenir you can put on your shelf.
Yeah, they're really cool. And it's inside the gift shop that's on the main floor of the lobby. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. I keep thinking Moana Mercantile, but that's the one upstairs. So definitely go in there. They don't always have the coconuts, though, so you might miss out. Yeah. We were lucky that they were there the day we went. And yeah, it's just another package that you're sending. So it's really cool. It was really fun to come home and find that.
Yeah.
So I hope these tips help you out with all of the different things you can do at Disney World. I've often talked about there's so much to do when you're there that you can just keep going back more and more and more. And so here's some of the things to fill some time if you need to. So you can find us out on Facebook and Instagram as @Miles from Main Street. And if you go out to Apple Podcasts and do a rating and review. Take a screenshot and send it to our email address, milesfrommmainstreetpodcast@gmail.com, and I will send you a sticker and maybe a little gift along with it. I have a whole box full of the Shop Disney mini brands, so if you guys want to get a sticker and a mini brand, I'll do that for you. So definitely send over those reviews. That'd be great. And as we like to say, some live close,
but others don't.
so let's talk about it. That's all we got for you this week. We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.